जय राधा माधव
श्रीमद श्री भक्त वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस वरराज काचार्य स्तोत्र शतश्री श्रीमद श्री भक्त सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत गौड़ वैष्णव की जय। रमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगामाई यमुनामाई की जय, भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी की जय, स्वामी भक्तवृंद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All East Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All East Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All East Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All East, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishwaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidramne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachar Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachachya Destani. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. So we are going to discuss today reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 1, titled Questions by the Sages, verse number 4. I want to see if we can go up to verse number 23, because these are the various questions by the first three verses are the supremely important verses, very, very important, so that's why we had to really go in detail. Still it's not enough, but in the interest of time, we'll go from verse number 23, 4 to 23. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Om Udhanatidramdasya Gnananjanasaragaya Chukshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarim Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for the protection of all the devotees and the doctors from the front lines and for everybody else. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Verse number 4. Naimishe animesha kshetre rushaya sonakadaya syatram swargaya lokaya sahasra samam asata. Naimishe animesha kshetre rushaya sonakadaya Shatram Sarghaya Lokaya Sahasra Samam Asata. Naimishe Animesha Kshetre Rushaya Svanakadaya Shatram Sarghaya Lokaya Sahasra Samam Asata. Word to word translation. Naimishe, in the forest known as Naimisharanya, Animesha Kshetre, the spot which is especially a favorite of Vishnu, who does not close his eyelids. Rushaya, sages, Saunakadaya, headed by the sage Saunaka. And Shatram, sacrifice, for Gaya, the Lord who is glorified in heaven, Lokaya, and for the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord. Sahasra, 1000, Samam, years, Asata, performed. Translation by Jivanga A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Vijay. Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages, headed by the sage Saunaka, assembled to perform a great 1000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. Be it once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages headed by the sage Saunaka assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. We'll try to go at least till 9th verse. That is the question number 1. And we will see if time, then again we will continue. So verse number 5. Ta ekadad munaya pratar huta hutagnaya satkrutam sutam asinam paprachur idam adarat. Translation. Te, the sages, ekada, one day, tu, but munaya, sages, prata, morning, huta, burning, huta agnaya, the sacrificial fire, satkrutam, due respects, sutam, Sri Suta Goswami, asinam, seated on, paprachu, made inquiries, idam, on this, as follows, adarat, with due regards. Translation. One day after finishing their morning duties, by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Suta Goswami, the great sage made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Verse number 6. Rushaya vuchu tvaya kalu puranani sedihasani janaka ākyātāni api adītāni dharma shastrāni āni gutā. Auto translation. Rushaya, the sages, Uju said, Tvaya, by you, Kalu, undoubtedly, Puranani, the supplements to the Vedas with illustrative narrations, Sa itihasani, along with the histories, Cha and Anaga, freed from all vices, Ākyātāni, explained, Api, although, Aditani, well read, Dharma Shastrani, scriptures giving right directions to the progressive life, Yani, all these, Uta said. Translation. The sages said, respected Suta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and the histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. Important point. Not only the reading himself, but he also explained. Verse number 7. Yani veda vidam sreshto bhagavan badarayana anye cha munaya suta paravara vido viduhu. Yani, all that, veda vidam, scholars of the Vedas, sreshta, seniormost, Bhagavan, incarnate knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead. And you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Verse number 8. Vetatvam saumya tatsarvam tatvatastad anugrahat brūyo snigdasya sisyasya guro guhyam api uta. Translation. Whatever translation. Veta, you are well conversant. Tvam, your honor. Saumya, one who is pure and simple. Tat, those. Sarvam, all. Tatvataha, in fact. Tat, there. Anugrahat, by the favor of Brūyu, will tell. Snigda, of one who is submissive. Shishyasya, of the disciple. Guruvaha, the spiritual masters. Guhyam, secret. Api uta, endowed with. Translation. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, he can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. Verse number 9. Tatra tatranjasayusman bhavatayat vinishchitam pumsam ekantata sreya tanna samsitam arhasi. Translation. Tatra, thereof, Anjasa, made easy, Ayushman, blessed with a long duration of life, Bhavata, by your good self, yet, whatever, Vinishchitam, ascertained, Pumsam, for the people in general, Ekantataha, absolutely, Sreya, ultimate good, Tat, that, Na, to us, Samsitam, to explain, Arhasi, deserve. Translation. This is the first question, the verse number 9. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. Once again, please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. So this is what from verse number 4 to 9. We try to understand here what Krishna is trying to, Vyasdev is trying to tell us, or Saunaka and other rishis assembled and in Naimisharanya asking the questions to Sutta Goswami. So here specifically, so let's recap with what we have discussed. So the first Srimad Bhagavatam is describing, giving the whole context, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam in the first 3 verses, 1, 2 and 3, in the sense that Sambandha and Abhideya and Prayojana. Sambandha means establishing, understanding our relationship with who we are, the living entity, and understanding the Supreme Lord, Ishvara, and the relationship between the Jiva and Ishvara. And then also understanding that He is the source of all, He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the source of all the rasas, He is the source of all the incarnations, and from Him the creation, maintenance, destruction is coming, and also from Him all the energies are coming. And then also the general living entities, including even sometimes the demigods, are also bewildered by the illusory energy, by one of this external energy of the Lord, the Maya Shakti, out of the 3 energies. So in that way, so the first verse is concluding that establishing the living entity's relation with the Supreme Lord, He is the Supreme Authority, He is the Supreme Person, and our relationship as a part and parcel of Krishna. So that's what is being established in the first verse. And then the second verse is talking about how to implement, how to practice. Sambandha and Prayojana is the practice aspect, where it has been described rejecting all the other dharmas. Dharma projita kaito atra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedhyam vastu vastam tapatrayam moranam. So the real dharma, so all the other dharmas will become secondary. The primary and the core dharma is to follow the identity as a servant of Krishna, servant of God. So that is the main principle is established, and then practice on top with that core identity in each and every activity we do, whether taking care of the family or the work related or community related, whatever activity, whatever duties we have based on the body, extended body, and different situations. So, but with core identity. So that's what is the practice. And then the last one is especially talking about in the same aspect. The first and second also is establishing this how to. Especially the second point is establishing in the performing this devotional service. The practice devotional service in practice comes into picture, where we have to see the 2 aspects. Devotional service in practice is divided into, one is the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and then the devotional service also, and spontaneous love for the Lord. So without any rules and regulations, spontaneously they have attraction for the Lord. And then the devotional service, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti we described. So now that is the practice aspect. And then the third step, what is the ultimate result? Okay, now once we understand the relationship between Supreme Lord and us, and then following and acting on that platform, what is going to result? So that result is being explained in the third verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpataror galitam palam sukamukad amrutam. What is the mature fruit? What are you going to get the ultimate fruit? If you perform, what is going to be the result? That result is nothing but the pure devotion for the Supreme Lord, Krishna Prema, love of God. The whole purpose of the real goal of human life, ultimate goal of human life, or the real purpose of any religion, any dharma. There are so many dharmas that is being described in verse number 2. So many other dharma, upadharma, chala dharma, so many other the secondary. But here the Bhagavatam is describing the highest dharma, Parava dharma, Bhagavat dharma, Sanatana dharma. So many different names are there. Not the Chaturveda, there is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. No, the Bhagavatam is not talking about the lower things, it is talking about the highest thing, even above the 4, Chaturvarga, but the Panchama Purushartha, highest subject matter, love of God, how to develop love, despite doing our activities, all the duties we perform, but with the core identity of serving Krishna in each and every activity, seeing with that vision as part and parcel of Krishna, everybody belongs to Krishna. So that is the aspect. And then the third one is ultimately we come to by practicing in this way, so we attain Krishna Prema. So that is then we come to here it is mentioned, those who are even in the liberated state also will enjoy this mature fruit. This mature fruit is available after performing so much in devotion service with so much what you call laulium, greed, intense greed for the serving the Supreme Lord and his devotees, especially through a bona fide spiritual master. So that devotion service in practice, devotion service in ecstasy, and devotion service in pure love of God. So this is verse number 3 is talking about both devotion service in bhava, ecstasy, and devotion service in pure love of God. So that sometimes we may see that people are crying, people are shedding tears, and are so many things, are shaking up or falling down, murcha or whatever. You may see these symptoms, but that's not exactly the bhava stage. Bhava stage is described as the symptoms of bhava stage. Prabhupada is describing, all acharyas are describing. First of all, they should have the cessation of all the material desire, shanti. They should have the taste for the nama gana sadaruchi. The nama means holy name, nama gana, the chanting kirtana, glorification of the Supreme Lord, nama gana sadaruchi, always 24/7. And abhyartha kalatam, they don't waste any time in any material things. They are always using their time very efficiently, completely immersed in spreading or glorifying or distributing Krishna to others. And that is the main Namagara Sadaruchi, Abhyartha Kalatvam. Then they always want to be situated in a holy place. Priti the Vasati Stale. Those on the Bhava stage, they follow they are not alone. When any of the stage, from the beginning to the last stage, they are always guided by the pure devotees. Always. Otherwise, we will not be able to, will fall down. Just like Bharat Maharaj has fallen down when he didn't have any association of the pure devotees, when he was alone. So even Prachetas, we see that Prachetas were initially guided by his father, Prachin Barhi, and then they went and trying to meditate in the lake. And then Lord Shiva comes out and gives instruction, beautiful prayers are there. But then after that also they forget. Then again Narada Muni comes and reminds and gives again the instructions. So by his Narada Muni's mercy again. So always we must be guided by the spiritual master or advanced devotees. Tad anuragi jananugami kalam nayed upadesha saram. In Nectar of Instruction, Upadesha Amrita Rupa Goswami is giving that. Ultimately, when you come to this advanced stage, after Ananda Nivritta, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, and Bhava, especially in Bhava stage also, we must be always following an advanced devotee, we must be guided. Otherwise, we may take up some material activities again. We may fall down, we may get attached to some other things, or we may act like a Prakrita Sahajiyas. But we haven't given up these cessation of material desires. That's why Shanti, Abhyartha Kalatvam, Namagana Sadaruchi, Priti Vasati Stale, situated always in a holy place. And then also Manasunyata, that means pridelessness, no pride whatsoever. They are not thinking they are great scholar or great advanced devotees. They have developed a lot of love for Krishna. They haven't developed. If you see any the examples of our acharyas, whether it's Belamangal Thakur or six Goswamis or Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Sri Prabhupada, they're always humble in their position. They always think it is all done by the mercy of my spiritual master. I haven't done anything, I have wasted my life. Narottam Das Thakur, any of the acharyas' prayers we see in that way, because they always think themselves as the lowest. So that is the quality of a pure devotee. This is the Bhava stage, and that Bhava stage is also explained as how we can come to Bhava stage is by two ways. We can attain by the mercy of Krishna. That is very rare. In very few occurrences we will see in the examples of Srimad Bhagavatam and other literature. The second one is very important. By the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord, then we can attain, we can come to this bhava stage. And then this bhava stage is also further divided into multiple categories. One by the sensual attraction, and then second one is the relationship. On these two categories, we can develop ecstatic symptoms, bhava stage. By sensual attraction means in the form of like a conjugal love. So the gopis of Vrindavan, gopis of Dwaraka. Sometimes people may think it may be just for female bodies, but no, that's not the case. And Prabhupada explained, Rupa Goswami is explaining, this also can be for the male bodies. Just like Prabhupada gives an example that the sages in Dandakaranya during Ramachandra's time, they also thought they want to be in the relationship with the Supreme Lord, but at the time Lord Ramachandra has taken as a Maryada Purushottam, one wife only. That was the Leela, that was the pastime for that special incarnation. So, but Lord, when the sages requested to Ramachandra, he didn't say anything. So it was granted internally basically, and then it's going to happen in the future. So the same sages, Dandakaranya sages, appeared in the time of Dwaraka Leela, Dwapara Yuga Leela, and then they became, many of them became the gopis or the assistant to the gopis. So they are the male personalities, but they transformed into gopis, and they had relationship with the Supreme Lord, attachment, transcendental desire to please Krishna. That's what sensual attraction means. Not like a material desire of that, what we see in this material world. Not that kind of sensual attraction here, it is mentioned. And also this can be also direct and indirect. Directly means some are directly serving the gopis of Vrindavan, directly serving Krishna, directly associating with Krishna. Some are indirect, they are serving the gopis instead of directly serving Krishna, but they are relishing, they are hearing these pastimes from gopis, what has happened with their interaction with Krishna. So all these things are coming under indirect way. And the same way with the relationship also. In the relationship, like Sudama is in the friendship rasa, Sakyaras. Sudama is the topmost out of the so many friends. Sudama, Sridham, Madhumangal, Stok, Krishna, so many are there. So many friends Krishna has in Vrindavan Leela. So out of that, Sudama is foremost. So one who is, then they follow that similar, directly. That is the direct version. Similar to how Sudama, that friendship rasa, in relation with that, or Nanda in a parent rasa, Vatsalya rasa, like Nanda and Yashoda. In that way they think that directly they want to be in that rasa. Indirectly means they see, they want to follow, they want to serve them to Sridham or Sudam, any of these friendship rasa or the Vatsalya rasa, like Nanda and Yashoda, or the Devaki and Vasudev, they are all in that Vatsalya rasa at different stage. Nanda and Yashoda at a higher stage than the Devaki and Vasudev. In that also there is a more and more as you go up. Even the gopis of Vrindavan also, Srimati Radharani is the highest. So then Dwaraka queens are little bit in a grade. Even the pure love of God also they have in Brihad Bhagavatam, that is been explained, where the discussion is there between Parikshit Maharaj's mother, Uttara. Uttara is asking these questions. In the beginning it is explained, Prematara, Prematura, Premottama. There are almost 4 or 5 categories are explained. Ultimately the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest in that, the topmost level of love. She has intense love in that way. So gradations, even within that platform of bhakti, even there the guidance is there. So that way always we must be guided by a bona fide spiritual master. It is like an example of a powerhouse, electricity. Anybody wants electricity, you cannot just directly grab onto powerhouse, big electric powerhouse, connect directly to that and get it. Rather, it has to come through. The big powerhouse is the Supreme Lord Krishna in Narada's case, or in Arjuna's case. In few special cases, Pandava's case, directly Supreme Lord has given. But in majority of 99% of the cases, it must be guided through a bona fide spiritual representative of Krishna, Sevaka Bhagavan. So that's what Shastra is clearly telling. Sevaka Bhagavan is the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. So the powerhouse, then we connect through transformers, and then through transformers we have a main connection to the house, and then from there you have many plug points. So the many plug points are like devotees, so many plug points, but the actual main connection to the house is the spiritual master, because spiritual master may not be available all the time, and he will give you the guidance. You take a diksha, you surrender, and you can ask questions when he is there. You serve him, or you write an email and all. But but still you need to take guidance. You need to hear from the advanced devotees. So those are the other plug points where you connecting to the plug point to receive the electricity, to receive that energy, the spiritual strength, spiritual enlightenment. You must receive through the association of devotees. The transformers are like a temple, because it gives energy. So much energy is there, high voltage. They say transformer, don't go there, it's high voltage. So the temple is for those who are really want to be purified. So otherwise Lord is everywhere. He is there. Andantarastu paramanu chayantarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. He is there in every atom. Then you can perceive everywhere. Then why to go to temple? But because the temple is established, it is mentioned in Shastra. Temple means alayam, devalayam. It is a place where people the living entities can get liberated from their current conditioning. Because there, not only the Lord is there, along with his devotees, along with his pure devotees, advanced devotees there. So that's why from the transformer, and then you have these connections. You grab onto the connections of these various outlets. Through you hear, especially when you go to the holy place also, even when we go to temple, we must hear. Not only doing service in the prasadam serving, or doing whatever services we can offer, cleaning or cooking, whatever, garlands, you name it. So many services you can do. You're taking care of the shoe rack or whatever. It could be simple things, it could be bigger things, it could be anything. Deity worship, assisting in deity worship, ironing, you name it. N number of services are there in temple means. So that, but we must be always guided, we must hear. When we go to temple, when we go to any holy place, the first and foremost important aspect is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavunoy Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karagudai. That hearing aspect must be there in each and every, whenever we go to temple. So that must be the priority. That's why Shastra used to tell, our parents used to tell, when you go to temple, you sit at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Either you read something, or you hear something, or you do some service. That is the idea. It's not just simply go and see the Lord and come. Yes, you are getting pious credit, but after that what? You are not really getting the ultimate benefit of it. Ultimate benefit means you must seek the guidance. What is the benefit of coming to temple means? You must seek association of devotees. You must understand, receive that transcendental knowledge, and more, as you advance more and more, you must seek even more and more, discuss Krishna Katha and understand what is the current position. Sometimes the electricity gets into a problem, the electricity is not coming, then you have to fix the problem. That means whom you call? You call anybody and everybody? No, you call the electrician only. Same way when we are constantly we have to see, we have to plug points, sometimes plug points will not work. So that's why we have to see who is advanced, who is really practicing what he is speaking, or who is able to, or at least as per the Shastra, how he is conducting himself. So whether he is immersed in bhakti, or whether he is spending his time is just unwanted things and he is spending just criticizing, is not doing any service. Yes, anybody who is chanting, coming to temple, we should be honest, we should be, offer our pranams and all, that's fine. But more you engage in relationship with those who are advanced, who are performing as per the scriptural injunctions, who are using their time efficiently, serving, trying to understand Krishna, then you ask them the questions. You try to understand and about Krishna and where we are stuck, what is our current position, what difficulties we have, where we have to go next, what is the ultimate goal. So this must be always checked. Just like when we have a problem with electricity, you must always call electrician only. Same way we must be checking with the advanced, expert electrician only. Especially if it is small things, you may fix it. But if it is a bigger problem, electricity, even our temple, most of the time a big electricity problem, we generally call Gordhan Lal Prabhu or electric because he is expert, he knows, he is there in the industry for many years. So then we call that person, we don't call anybody and everybody, we may have some little knowledge because when it's a deeper problem, you cannot mess around with electric things if you don't know what exactly is happening. So that same way, so when we are in the beginning stage, many of the devotees can give guidance. As you mature, as you become more and more advanced, then we must seek guidance of those who are advanced in this devotional service. Then so that way we know where we are, what is our current position, what is lacking, what exactly is the problem, and then how to go to the next step. Because this is always a step. Adho Shraddha, Tada Sadhu Sango, Tada Bhajana Kriya, and generally we are stuck at the Ananda Nivritti stage. That means there are so many different attachments, different problems every living entity is facing. Even after initiation, first initiation, second initiation, also we are still facing. That Ananda Nivritti, big step to go from Ananda Nivritti, Bhajana Kriya through Ananda Nivritti to Nishtha stage. It actually takes many lifetimes. If we are very serious, 3 lifetimes. We are very, 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 very serious, then only within this lifetime. So that means we can see how much we have to intensify, how much we have to always cross-check what exactly is going on with us, with our practices, with our internal consciousness, how our mind is taking so many different directions, where our senses are going. So all these things must be checked every day, regularly, and then so that way, and as much as possible, we must utilize time in discussing this topic hearing. So that way, through hearing, automatically everything gets answered. If we read ourselves, but you don't hear from others, from those advanced, then it's very difficult to, because your questions will not be answered. We don't know which position where we are in, what difficulties, and how to remove those difficulties, how to remove those unwanted attachments, unwanted behaviors in our mind and senses. So that will not be removed because we are not receiving that knowledge how to remove those. So that's why we must seek the guidance, we must hear regularly. So that's what is explained here. So even the relationships, even at the Baba stage also, even all these devotees are guided. Like Sudama is the out of the topmost in that, like Srimad Radharani is the topmost. They all seek guidance of her. Even when we go to spiritual world also, it is mentioned, even the spiritual master will be there to guide. You can see in Chaitanya Lila, Gaur Lila also. In order for Raghunath Das Goswami to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna, he couldn't get. Then he had to go to approach Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Even that also he didn't approach directly. You have to see, he actually approached Raghava Pandit, who is a great cook and an advanced devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He served Raghava Pandit. He approached him, he submitted his questions to Raghava Pandit. Then Raghava Pandit submitted to Nityananda Prabhu. And then they showed, their devotees told Nityananda, he is Raghunath Das Goswami hiding on the back. He just came, he is offering his obeisance to you. Then Nityananda Prabhu calls him, hey you, the thief, come here. Then he gives his mercy and then he make him serve all the devotees. And then Raghunath Das Goswami, obviously, even though he is so much coming from a rich family, he has everything. Beautiful wife, beautiful family, so much wealth and everything, but he was so humble. Always meek and humble, he served with a great ecstasy, great eagerness to understand Krishna, to receive Krishna Prema. He served all the devotees. So in this way, in the Gaur Lila also, in Srimad Bhagavatam, everywhere we see through examples we have to understand what exactly the qualities of the devotee must be and how to serve. Sometimes we jump directly. Maharaj, question. I have a question. But he says that we must be submissive. We must be very. We have to understand this Vaishnava etiquette. We have to be very careful in how we ask the question and how we approach the things, especially in among the Vaishnavas. So it's better rather we go through a devotee. That's always Krishna likes that actually. The Krishna tells also in Bhagavad Gita and other places. Those who are directly coming to me is not the greatest. Rather, who is coming through my devotee, so he is the greatest. Krishna himself is telling that. So even Lord Shiva is telling Parvati Devi, those who are worshipping Aradhanam Sarvesham, Tasmat Vishnu Aradhanam Param, Tasmat Parataram Devi, Tadiyam Samarchanam. Even worshipping his devotees is even more higher than the worshipping the Lord. Generally, the In the neophyte stage, first stage is coming to temple, we want to see the Lord, we don't care about the reward. Generally, this is 90% or 99% of the times, this is what happens. Generally, people want to come to temple, take darshan, take some prasad or whatever, and then go. But they are not interested in what exactly the Lord is, and or devotees, Vaishnavas, what exactly I am supposed to do, or what is my goal, what is how to progress next life, what is ultimate happiness, nothing. They don't have inquisitiveness, they don't have either faith, they have faith in the Supreme Lord. So this is the beginning stage, neophyte stage. In order for us to move from one to next stage, then we must seek the association of devotees, you must hear. When these two things happen, then there is a next level progress. If we don't do that, then we will stop coming to temple also after some days. We lose even that minimum faith. When difficulty comes, when some problem comes in the life, then finished. Even whatever that minimum faith also is there, that also will go. So because we are dependent, we have some benefits in our mind when we come to temple. So that's the reason we come. So that's why it is very important to know these aspects. Devotion service in practice, devotion service in ecstasy, devotion service in pure love of God. So in this ecstasy also, we are seeing that sensual attraction and relationship, and these also direct and indirect. In this way, devotion service in ecstasy is the 4 categories, and it has been categorized as again these ecstatic symptoms are mentioned as vibhava, means you get ecstasy, means shivering or the tears coming down, rolling on the ground, all these. But we have to corroborate with these 8 qualities I mentioned. So Shanti, Namagana Sadaruchi, Priti, Vasati Stale, all this Mana Sunyata, Virakti, all these are qualities we must, because somebody is exhibiting these symptoms, then we must see sometimes they exhibit just for the, first of all we can see from Prabhupada, all our Acharya, they don't exhibit these symptoms in front of devotees also. In front of devotees also they don't exhibit. They try to conceal it, because that is what Acharyas are explaining. Because it is not to show. It is not to show. Bhava is not about showing. Bhava is about your ecstatic symptoms internal. It is internal between you and the Supreme Lord, not show up to the public. So that's why we have to be. Sometimes it's very hard. In Prabhupada's case also, sometimes because he couldn't conceal himself, because he was so much in ecstasy, he couldn't speak. Sometimes tears will be rolling down. He couldn't speak for a few minutes. So much he will go on, whether devotees glorifying a spiritual master or something in relation, or the deities is seeing, or something is in meditation. Then very few cases, few occasions, Prabhupada or current disciples also we may see in some instances. But like what is the Gaur Govind Maharaj, also in some cases we have seen. So that way, so they generally most of the time, 90% of the time, 99% of the time they conceal. That's what Shastra is explaining. Mahaprabhu himself also did that. Only among very, very close associates they may exhibit. But otherwise it's not the case. Anyway, so the vibhava means ecstatic symptoms. And then there is a anubhava. That means these ecstatics come and go. Anubhava means little more, consistently. Every few days it may come and go. That is anubhava. Then you have a existential ecstasy. That is the. Then you have vibhicharika, the aggressive ecstasy. That means it's increasing and increasing more. It becomes aggressive, like a madness. Then finally sthayi bhava. That means every day, every minute it's going on. It is consistently day after day after day after day. So when that comes, then we are almost. Then the next immediate step is the pure love of God. We are almost like achieving Krishna prema. That is the last stage, even that ecstatic. This is an ecstasy. Devotion service in ecstasy. This is stage 2. There are 3 stages: devotion service in practice, devotion service in ecstasy, devotion service in pure love of God. So that is 3 stages. That middle stage we are discussing, that bhava stage, before Krishna prema stage. Bhava stage means we know what is our form, we know what is our relationship with the Supreme Lord, what is our original spiritual form, and our relationship with the Supreme Lord, whether it is Sakya Rasa or Vatsalya Rasa, means friendship, or parent-child, or conjugal rasa or Madhur Rasa, or Sakya Rasa friendship, or Shanta Rasa neutrality, like Prahlad Maharaj, or Dasya Rasa master servant. Then it will be in the rest of the Vaikuntha planet, will not be in Golok Vrindavan, because that is where the begins of this more from the Sakya Vatsalya. Dasya also is there. but mostly from Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhura is very much the most majority of the relationships in Golok Vrindavan, the highest rasa. In this way, so the Bhava stage is explained. That's what this third verse is talking about. We couldn't discuss in the last week, so that's why I'm just finishing up that. So the Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sukha Mukad Amrata Drava Samhitam. Because Sukadeva Goswami is in that ecstatic symptom stage, he was in the Krishna Prema stage, he himself has realized it, he himself has received this knowledge. So that's why he is able to give that mature fruit, like this what you call parrot touch the fruit, and that also it doesn't fall. And generally, we used to have a big tree, this guava tree. We used to go and pluck that, especially this guava which is plucked by a red beak of a parrot, and pluck it directly, not the fallen one. It is so tasty, so sweet, so much sweetness. Same thing with the mangoes also. Parrot generally go to govas or mangoes generally. In this way, so the Sukadeva Goswami has tasted and then himself is speaking. So that's why it became very much soft and semi-solid and liquidy form where we can directly drink. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami is in that ecstatic platform, the highest stage. The speaker must be qualified, and the recipient also must be qualified. And Parikshit Maharaj also from the beginning, his childhood itself, he was playing. He was not coming for the breakfast when he was called. Rather, he is engaged just like Uddhava. He is also busy in playing with different dolls, and just like Radha and Krishna is imitating and trying to think of Krishna because he was saved by Krishna himself when Ashwadhama released Brahmastra. So that's why he is called Parikshit Maharaj and searching for Krishna, and he is exactly look like Krishna. Even Sukadeva Goswami also it is mentioned he looks like Krishna only, the color blackish blue. He looks like that. His bodily figure also is like that. The great advanced symptoms of an advanced devotee. His limbs are formed in that way because he is born at 16 years old. He didn't follow any reformation. We are following reformation. We are going through this initiation, first initiation, second initiation, Adava Shraddha, all these regulative principles, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, all these 4 regulative principles. We are following this. But Sukadeva Goswami didn't because he was born at the age of 16 years. And he is already in that Brahmabhuta stage. He is already in that, but he was in a Brahman realized when he was born and immediately left home and went to forest. He was completely absorbed in that Brahmabhuta stage. But after he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from his disciples of Vyasadeva, then he became Bhakti Yogi. And then he came back and then he heard directly from Vyasadeva. Then he became completely the pure devotee of the Lord very, very quickly because he didn't have any material inabilities. So then automatically he could advance very, very rapidly and by the mercy of Vyasadeva. So in the disciplic succession, in the parampara. Anyway, so this is the previous verse. In this way, so we see that if you want to receive the mature fruit, then we must seek through bona fide spiritual master and the devotees. That must be there. It cannot be obtained directly. Yes, why should I take surrender to a spiritual master? No, Shastra is clearly telling it cannot be done. So we cannot attain Krishna directly. So that's why we have to follow these examples. And this fruit also given through a disciplic succession, in a step by step, in a sequence. So that's what Prabhupada explains in that purport. That don't think that fallen off. So you directly jump on to 10th canto or directly anybody and everybody claiming as a spiritual master outside in the in this world, material world. We shouldn't jump directly and surrender because we should see what is Sampradaya, who is his spiritual master, is he representing, so what is his qualification. Everything must be corroborated by the Shastra. Otherwise, we will fall into unnecessary things. So we will be cheated. So that's what we have to be very careful of. So, anyways, that is the verse number 3. Now, verse number 4, beginning onwards, here it is mentioned: Naimishe animesha kshetre rushe sonakala sabgam satraya lokaya sahasra samam asata. It is mentioned here, especially Naimishe animesha kshetre means couple of things. Naimisha means the Naimisharanya we are discussing. This is not a mystery, this is not a mythology. It is Naimisharanya, even now it is there. Our devotees went for Yatra also. So Naimisharanya is close to Lucknow from 100 miles or so from Lucknow, or kilometers from Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. It is there. And most main important point is Animesha Kshetre. This where Lord Vishnu doesn't close his eyelids. Animesha Kshetre. And then this is mentioned also in Vishnu Sahasranama, verse number 23. Animesha, what is it? Animesha Vachaspati Udaradi. It is mentioned where Lord Vishnu doesn't close his eyelids. And Lord is always wearing his garlands, especially Vaijayanti Mala, which doesn't get deteriorated, always fresh. And then Vachaspati Udaradi. Lord is always very, Udaradi means very, very affectionate, very much tolerant. He does, devotees, we commit mistakes, living entities commit mistakes. Again and again he gives chance. Is very much patiently is just watching and trying to give guidance to the degree the living entity wants his guidance. Accordingly he is guiding. Otherwise he is giving forgetfulness because they don't want to take his instruction. So he is very much patiently tolerating and giving as just as a guardian, as a father is acting. So that Vachaspati Udaradi, verse number 23 of Vishnu Sahasranam, this Animesha word also is. So this Naimisharanya has a lot of significance. So many pastimes are there in Naimisharanya. We don't want to go into that detail. But so main thing is the where Prabhupada is explaining why we Tantra and Varaha Prana, all the great sacrifice, because all the demigods went to Brahma and approached. We want to perform a sacrifices where it gives a greatest benefit. All the sinful activities can be curtailed. It gives tremendous benefit. It benefits all the humanity. Then Brahma releases his Manomaya Chakra, and then that comes down to and then places. It comes down and stops at this place, especially at the Naimisharanya. It is called Chakra Tirtha. Chakra Tirtha is the place where this is being where the Manomaya Chakra, or the hub of the wheel. Prabhupada is explaining from Vayuvi Tantra. The hub of the wheel is fixed at this place in Naimisharanya, Chakra Tirtha. Even now it is there. Naimisharanya also it is mentioned. The outer surface of the chakra, you can see. You cannot see the actual inside. The means what you call when you go into the ocean, or when you especially in the river, you can see the river bed, the lowest at the bottom. But in this case, you cannot see the bottom. Even the British or some people tried to go to the river, but they couldn't because it's so deep. Because that is the significance. This is not ordinary. This is coming from Brahma. So in Chakra Tirtha, it is even now it is very popular in Naimisharanya. So that's why the Naimisharanya is very popular. In Mahavishnu, in Pandavas went there. In Mahavishnu also killed a couple of demons. So it is also mentioned. Gayasura, he killed, and then 3 parts is when he killed. There are 3 parts. Each part went to different places, Bihar and Gaya, and one place where Naimisharanya. So in Bihar and some other place in that way. So many different pastimes are there related to this Naimisharanya. But anyway, here, so this is where Naimisharanya, the sages are assembled in Naimisharanya. The setting of the scene is when Krishna left the planet. This is before Kali Yuga started. So we can see that in chapter 16 or 17 of Canto 1. When Krishna left the planet, that's where after 30 years after Krishna left, that's where Vyasadeva has written down all this Vedic literature. One Veda, Atharva Veda was translated. Atharva Veda was divided into 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. And then again Vedanta Sutra, then Upanishads, and then Itihasas, Puranas, 18 Puranas, Upanishads 108. So Puranas 18, in that 18 also mode of goodness Purana, mode of compassion, mode of ignorance. This Bhagavad Purana is the highest of all these 18. When he was not satisfied after writing all this, even after writing Vedanta Sutra also, he was not satisfied. Then Narada Muni guides him and then tells him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. This is happening after Krishna left the planet 30 years after or so. This is we are talking about 3000 plus BC. This is before Kali Yuga actually started. Already symptoms. Because when Krishna left the planet, already symptoms are there. That's why Pandavas didn't rule much longer actually on the throne. They left as soon as when Arjuna came back after 6 months or almost more close to a year. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj very much lamenting and distressed because Arjuna didn't come back so quickly. Then he could understand all he's seeing the different bad omens, and then he could understand that Krishna might have left the planet. Then that's what happened when Arjuna comes back and gives his incident, what exactly has happened. So at that time already Kali Yuga symptoms kind of, it's very, very early though. So then immediately Pandavas left pretty much very quickly and then gave it to Parikshit Maharaj and went back to Godhead obviously through different planets in the same bodies. It is explained. Even Draupadi, Subhadra, they went in the same bodies, not changing the bodies, not like us because they are Nitya Siddhas. They went back in the same bodies to the spiritual world. Anyway, so we are talking about here, what we are talking now, Naimisha, Animisha, Kshatriya, these sages, where the setting, the context is 3000 years BC or so. This is where this Naimisharanya, they are sitting. First Vyasdev, Badri Kashram is written down, writing all this, especially Srimad Bhagavatam and also others. Everything written down for Kali Yuga people. Before that it was all speaking only. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, 4 seed verses. Chatusloki Bhagavatam was spoken by Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in the heart of Brahma, Tene Brahma Urdaya, we see in the first verse. 4 verses, we will come to that when we go to the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, verse number 32, 33, 34, 35. 4 verses only. Brahma has received. Then also same thing Brahma has given to Narada Muni and Narada Muni to Vyasdev. Then obviously Vyasdev has expanded in the Samadhi stage. Brahma Sutranam, natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't need to go to Vedanta Sutra and understand all the sutras. Vedanta Sutra means coded version of all the Vedas combined, Upanishad, everything combined. Vedanta Sutra is just like Janmadhyasya Yataha. That is the first verse, first line in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is one of the Vedantic aphorism, Vedanta Sutra. That has so much deeper meaning. All the meanings are included in just one small line. In that way, all the Vedanta Sutra, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa, Atato Brahma Jignasa, all these are different Vedanta Sutras. Like that, many sutras are there. But we don't need to go and search for that book and try to read. We don't need actually. Because this is the natural commentary on all the Vedanta Sutras, nothing but Srimad Bhagavatam. In this we already find, we get all the details, all the answers of that Vedanta Sutra is already there. So the 3000 plus years ago before BC, this is where Vyasdev has written down. Then after 30 years after or so, then this Parikshit Maharaj thing happened. Parikshit Maharaj also didn't rule much time actually, much longer. Then Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. After many years, this 1000 years sacrifice, they started Saunakanda, other rishis, close to maybe 1500 or 2000 BC or so. Around that time, this is all mentioned in Surya Siddhanta. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada has written Surya Siddhanta and others, and also in Bhagavat Mahatmya is also there. I haven't read myself, I heard from other advanced devotees, so I am just sharing what I heard, what I understood. So I am sure I could understand, I could sense that, because that's the chronology, we can clearly see it. Because we can see Vyasdev was there during the Hastinapur Kurukshetra war also, when Krishna left the planet. He was personally not there at the time when Krishna left the planet. Maitreya Muni was there, Uddhava was there. Krishna has given the knowledge and then Krishna left, and then Uddhava wanted to go with him. Obviously Krishna said, no, you cannot come here, you have so much to do. Go to Narayan Rishi and give the knowledge, because he also has received 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We see the Uddhava Gita, more confidential than Bhagavad Gita. We see in the 11th canto, same aspects, we will see that all different types of yoga, much more detailed. So Krishna directly speaking, so that is mentioned in the 11th canto. So that's why then he discusses, he tells, give your association to Narayan Rishi, and then he goes back. Krishna leaves them, and then later on we will see different in Canto 3 and all, Uddhava meeting again with Vidura and all. That's again different context. Anyway, coming back to the context, so in this way there is a chronology is there. So after Krishna left, Vyasdev is written down for Kali Yuga people. Then Parikshit Maharaj spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, because Vyasdev has expanded and he has heard, Sukadeva Goswami has heard from Vyasdev. Then Sukadeva Goswami first time in public in speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, whole Srimad Bhagavatam first time speaking to Parikshit Maharaj and all assembled sages there. Narada Muni was there, Vyasdev was there, so many other sages were there. And then the second setting happened after a couple of maybe hundreds of years, some thousands of years we could say. But before Kali Yuga started, maybe around 2000 BC, because this is a 1,000-year sacrifice. After once upon a day, within this 1,000-year sacrifice, when they started, it's not a beginning day of sacrifice. Some days after, it could be 50 years or 100 years. I don't know the exact term. I'm sure it might be mentioned in Surya Siddhanta or some other place. So, but at least to understand the context, how the chronology happened. So that's how the Sota Goswami, the Saunakand, other rishis assembled Naimisharanya asking questions to Sota Goswami, because Sota Goswami is also there in the assembly of Sukadeva Goswami. Even some other personalities are also there. So in Brihad Bhagavatam, we see that some other personalities are also there during that Sukadeva Goswami speaking. Anyway, so the Goswami received, so that's why it is mentioned here, Naimisha Animisha Kshetra. This is the context. So in that place of Naimisharanya, where this is coming in the second parallel of second time Srimad Bhagavatam is about to be spoken to Saunaka and other rishis. And if you go back to Bhagavad Gita, we see that they are coming under inquisitive. 4 kinds of people approach God in the beginning stage. Chaturveda bhajante mam jana sukritano arjunan arto jignasu ardhadi gnanicha bhartavarshava. In that Prabhupada explains, and in many other places Prabhupada explains. The first one is one who is distressed, one who is looking for wealth, one who is inquisitive, one who is wise. That inquisitive is nothing but the Saunaka and other rishis. Prabhupada gives the example. So in this case, they are inquisitive. They are not yet pure devotees yet. That's why they are inquiring, they are seeking. Now we know that when we haven't developed the pure love of God, neither we are in the Bhava stage, then if Saunaka and others are already advanced, they are sages. If they themselves are approaching Sota Goswami and bona fide spiritual master, what is our position? We are nothing in front of Saunaka and others. Then we must seek a guidance. Then we must follow the footsteps. The same way like Arjuna has surrendered himself, even though he is advanced. Like that, we must seek, just like follow the example of Saunaka and other rishis, and try to submissively surrender to a spiritual master. And that is the example here, it is being given now. So in this Naimisharanya, so Saunaka and other rishis, once upon a day, out of these 1,000 years, somewhere in the middle or beginning, so they are asking questions. They are about to ask questions basically. Shatram Swarghaya Lokaya Sahasra Samam Asada. 1,000 year sacrifice they are performing. So it is mentioned. So that is the main thing here. Then further it is mentioned. Ta ekadatu munaya pratar huta hutagnya satkrutam sotamasinam papracham idar adara. So after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering seat of esteem to Srila Sota Goswami, great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Especially the important point is Satkrutam Sotamasinam papracham idam adara. This is we must give the proper, follow the Vaishnava etiquette, especially for a bona fide spiritual master. We must be, first of all, offer our obeisances, give them a like Vyasasan, a comfortable seat, and then we serve them submissively, and then we can ask questions or whatever we want to ask that time. But before that, so that must be that. First of all, also that must be there. When we don't have that submissiveness, especially that's what is mentioned here. Great sage made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Then we must understand from the Srimad Bhagavatam also, it is explained where King Nimi is asking Nava Yogendras. This is explained. If you want to be removed of your doubts, if you want to be come out of this illusion, understand, especially get to the ultimate goal of life, then you must seek a bona fide spiritual master. And what is the quality of a guru? Whom we should surrender? And then we must seek again. All these answers are there in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Tasmat gurum prapadyeta jignaso sreyamattamam sabde parecha nishnatam brahmana upasamasreyanam. So tasmat gurum prapadyeta. Prapadyeta means surrender. So you must surrender to a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. What is his quality? Gurum prapadyeta. Sabde parecha nishnatam brahmani upasamasrenam. Brahmani upasamasrenam is always situated in transcendence. Is always situated in Krishna prema. Is always situated in is always thinking, meditating about Krishna and distributing Krishna prema, Krishna's knowledge, Krishna's glories, Krishna's pastimes. In this, he is always absorbed in that. That is the first quality. Not only that, he must explain all the Shastra, he must have understood, corroborate all the Shastra, various Shastras, Puranas, Itihasas, Vedas, Vedanta Sutras, and then he must explain in such a way that people can understand. That's what it is explained. Tasmat Gurum Prapadya Jignaso Shreyam Uttamam. Uttamam means the topmost. Udgata Tamam, one who can take living entity from ignorance to the goodness, ignorance to the enlightenment, mode of Visuddha Sattva. Udgata Tamam, that's what it means. Uttamam. Shreyam Uttamam, the permanent benefit, Shreyas. We will see that Shreyas word again in this specific verse number 9. Shreyam Uttamam, Shabde Parecha Nishnam. Yeah, Shabde Parecha. Shabda means this is the transcendental sound vibration. The material world created first thing with the sound. We were discussing in yesterday's Bhagavad Gita. The sound vibration comes, is the first, when the material world, they call Big Bang Theory, whatever. But the actual, from Shastra we understand clearly, Brahma is speaking to Narada Muni this. First is sound, and also the sky, ether has come. Then you see the air, then fire, then water, then the earth. In this way, the 5 elements come. First element is the sound. So that's why transcendental sound vibration is very important. But here is Sabde Parecha Nishnadam, especially in the transcendental sound vibration. That means Vedas, Vedanta Sutras, he is expert. He has studied it, he is able to, and he has studied, assimilated himself. And that means he has heard, he explained. That's why we see that in these verses it is mentioned, Sota Goswami not only heard, not only received and heard, but he himself has explained to others before in this assembly. So that's why they are glorifying what is the qualification of the spiritual master. Why are they asking, especially Sutta Goswami, why are they not asking somebody else? So that they are explaining here what is the position of this bona fide spiritual master. So that now we know who is the bona fide spiritual master, what should be his qualification. And it must be coming in a disciplic succession also. So because Sutta Goswami heard from Sukadeva Goswami, and this way the lineage is there. So that otherwise, yes, we may hear everything nice, because in the internet, in this today's world, so many speakers are there. Everybody is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody is speaking Bhagavad Gita, but the subject matter is same, but the context, the explanation, what practice they have, whether it is transforming by looking at the result, phalena parichyate, by looking at the result we can see, is it really transforming the heart? By hearing it may be nice, but is it changing, is it affecting in the heart? There is a change, there is a transformation in our behavior, in our actions. We are making some changes in our lifestyle, in our activities going forward. If that is going to happen, then yes, then we can say that at least he is coming in a bona fide, speaking bona fide as per the sadhu and shastra and guru. 3 things it must be corroborated. Otherwise, it is not going to help actually. Information is not helpful. Rather, it must be transformation. The message must be transformational. Then only it is helpful, especially for spiritual subject point of view. Material subject, yes, it can be information, that's fine. But for spiritual subject, it is very, very important. So here, Saunaka and other rishis are asking, looking for transformational message, not ordinary message. That's what we can see here. And there are also further, we can see the verse number 6 is explaining the qualities, also further qualities. They will not have, the bona fide spiritual master will not have, he is free of vices. There's only 4 regulative principles. This is a must and first and foremost, even for a disciple. Forget about bona fide, even for a disciple, especially one who is surrendering, one who is taking initiation, Diksha. So then it is mentioned, so Diksha is also mentioned as Rupa Goswami gives a wonderful example. Yata kanchanam yati kansya rasa vidanena dvijattam jayate nrunam. The Diksha, real Diksha means it is like you take a bell metal or copper and you mix with a bell metal mixed with a mercury via media of sulfuric acid. Then it transforms into gold. You can make gold. There are yogis who make gold, who survive based on that also. So this is the process how to make this, take the bell metal and mix with mercury and then throw a sulfuric acid here. Same way, when the living entity is coming in touch with a bona fide spiritual master and getting a transformation, getting the seed of bhakti through a bona fide spiritual master in the parampara, disciplic succession, then he is getting transformed, just like the copper or bell metal is getting transformed into via media of sulfuric, that is via media of bona fide spiritual master. You are connecting with the Supreme Lord in a parampara with the via media of spiritual master. And then the bhakti, seed of bhakti is sown in the heart at the time. So that way, dvijatvam jayate nunam. Then he becomes, actually, he is talking about especially the second initiation, dvijatvam jayate. Brahmana means you are getting the second initiation, means you are becoming the second agnic Brahman. So you can perform, you can worship the deity. That's all. Even for first initiation also, because it is Pancharatri Vidhi, first initiation also. In that way, it is important. It is the same principle is applied. Unless it is coming in that same aspect. Only that way we can get transformed into gold, transformed into become pure, basically. Because we have impurities. Only way we come out of these impurities is when we are in touch at the time of initiation, time of Pancharatri Vidhi, the yajna sacrifice through a bona fide spiritual master. Then all sinful activity he is taking. Bona fide spiritual master is taking. And the Supreme Lord is guaranteeing, one who is taking up the devotion service step by step. Krishna is guaranteeing. Nobody else in this world, no other demigod, nobody can guarantee this. But Krishna is guaranteeing this. And Brahma is speaking this. Yastu Indra Gopam Avendra Ahoswa Karma Bandhan Rupam Palavajana Matamati Karmani Niddahat Kinchita Bhakti Vajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. Those who are performing devotion service, for them, especially the second line, Yastu Indra Gopam Atavetra Ahoswa Karma Bandhan Rupam Palavajana Matam Karmani, this line, Karmani Niddahat Kinchita Bhakti Vajam. One who is performing devotion, bhakti bhajam with devotion, then karmani nirdha, that means whatever credit, whatever pious credits, whatever ordinary credits, especially the pious credit means it gives a bondage. You have to come back again to this material or take up this material body, whatever species of life. All anarthas from the past life, this life, everything can be nirdha, that means completely be borne down. Your lines can change, whatever astrology you might have been given by someone. That also can change, provided we are seeking. That's why Prabhupada only seeking guidance very, very rarely. Astrology, yes, it is part of the Shastra. We take it just as instruction, just to understand aspects of it. But Prabhupada never went with that. He just received in very, very few occasions only. Otherwise, he just simply following, because he is completely, fully surrendered to Supreme Lord. Then whatever lines, even though it might have been told, everything can change. That's what Karmani Nirdhat Kinchita Bhakti Vajam means. When somebody is really serious and advanced and intense greed for Krishna, then this can happen. Karmani Nirdhat Kinchita Bhakti Vajam. That is what. But for others, whether it's a Brahma or Indra or any demigod, it could be anybody. All of them, they have to be bondage in this suffering in this material world, taking again and again different bodies, whether demigod or ordinary living human being or lower species of life. It could be anything. That's why it is mentioned here. Yastu Indra Gopa means Indra Gopa is the smallest insect in this living species. And Indra, up to Indra or even the lowest, it could be anybody. They are all bounded by this karma, fruitive activities. Yastu Indra Gopam Ahoswa Karma. Swa Karma means their own karma, whatever activity they are performing, they are bounded by that. Bandhan Rupam Palavajana Matamaji. According to the degree of their activities, the results are bound to be. Reaction must to be. They have to face the reactions. Doesn't matter whether demigod or ordinary living entity or whatever species of life. They have to. Obviously, for other than human being, they have to go through the evolution, next stage. They will not get sinful act, they will not go to hell. They immediately next body. They will change from one life to another life. When they come to human being, then they have to face the reaction, because we are intelligent, we understand things, we have inquisitiveness, all these things are there for a human being. So that's why that is the Shastra's instructions clearly. So in this way we understand the benefit of performing devotion service. So we take it very lightly, but much more credit is given. The supreme benefits are there in this devotion service. So that's why we have to take it a little bit seriously and try to follow slowly, gradually, step by step. We don't need to jump to the higher stages, because it creates otherwise chaos in family life, creates chaos without looking at time, place, circumstance. We try to jump immediately. Oh, let me start chanting 16 round from 1 round. We haven't started 1 round. We want to do 16 round. Then slowly, we take slowly, step by step. Then, so that way it doesn't create problems who are surrounding us. So we have to follow that, and then naturally we apply our principles. It is all, bhakti is all about internal, bhakti is all about simple and natural. So we take it in that way, so that we don't get caught up with the rules and regulations. Sometimes as devotees, very much we get caught up. We try to follow all the rules. Ekadasi means Nirjal, or this or that, all the festivals. We try to follow so much into rules. Oh, why are you offering this way? Why are you dressing this way? Why are you cooking this way? All these so many questions. But if the person has so much intense devotion, obviously the rules must be followed. But we shouldn't become a fanatic in the rules. We should be always underlying principle. We must see the devotee has this bhava, then we should forsake whatever. Then we can instruct them, try to do in this way, so that it doesn't become a problem when the other devotees are there. They are seeing this person performing that way. But otherwise, when he has that devotion, then that is the main thing Krishna is accepting. He is not interested in what rules. If you are caught up with the rules, then real devotion gets actually subsided. We are not really into devotion. So that also we have to be very careful. So not so much here. The sacrifice also is mentioned. The sacrifice, where they are performing sacrifice. For Kali Yuga, this is not recommended, because they are in the Dwapara Yuga, previous to Kali Yuga. For them, 1000 years they lived. Kali Yuga only 100 years. Now, as it progresses, at the end of Kali Yuga, only people will live maximum 20 or 30 years. It's already mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, last canto. You will see in other places also, other literature it is mentioned. How long people will live as Kali Yuga progresses. So it more and more it reduces span of life because of the irreligious activities. So anyway, so that's why. But for Kali Yuga, the prescribed method for Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Kalau tad Hari Kirtana. Because anyway, our mind is not fixed. We are not living long enough, and so all this is because of these various defects. The Shastra is clearly recommending Kalavata Hari Kirtana. That is the Yuga Dharma for this age. And Srimad Bhagavatam also we can see when Parikshit Maharaj is asking what a person should do about to die in 7 days. It clearly mentioning Tasma Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Isro Hari Srotavyasya Kirtitavyasya Smartavyasya Ichitavayam. One must chant, one must glorify Srotavyasya Kirtitavyasya, chanting the holy name, hearing, and then remembering the Lord. Then that is what, then automatically you will be free from all the everything, all the contamination in this world. And then at the end of the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam also you will see that same thing. Nama Sankirtanam Esya Sarva Papa Pranasanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanas Tan Namami Harim Param. By simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, Nama Sankirtanam Esya, the topmost, the essential, the most important out of all the devotion service aspects is the chanting of the holy name. By simply chanting Sarva Dukkha Pranasanam, all the distresses, but all sinful activities will be removed. Sarva Pava Pranasanam. Then Pranamo, so Dukkha Samanas, all the Dukkha means distress, the anxieties, everything will be removed. And then that personality, because I am chanting Tan Namami Harim Param, that personality, Hari, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, I want to surrender, I want to offer my obeisances to that personality. In this way, we see that, so don't think that because Savanaka and other Rishis are assembled in Naimisharanya performing 1000 years, let me start performing some yajnas. No, that is not the recommended. So we have to follow what is the recommendation for according to the time, place, circumstance. So for this age, Sankirtan Yajna, especially the chanting of the holy name, that is the priority before we do any other thing. So during any other service also, we must chant always. Internally, we must always chant this holy name, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the recommended for this age. And then further it is mentioned here, the first, and also not only the free, Saunaka and other Rishis, also free, the spiritual master, Sota Goswami, is free of all these four visors, four regulative principles. And he has assimilated all this knowledge, he has the qualification. And the qualification of disciple is, he must be submissive, he must have a strong faith, he must be inquisitive. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Upadekshante te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. That pariprasnena, when we are questioning, we must be very submissive and we must have a strong faith on the Supreme Lord. Krishna is mentioned here, Jani Veda Vedam Sreshto, yeah. So Bhagavan Badarayana, Anyecha Munaya Sutta Paravaro Vido Vidu. Specifically here mentioned, Prabhupada is mentioning the 6 philosophies. Not only Sutta Goswami knows the Vedanta Sutra, Vedas and Upanishads and Puranas, but he also knows because when he divided one Veda into 4 Vedas and there's these Upanishads, and then he has given different departments to different personalities. Some of them are disciples. Yeah, some of them are his disciples. Vyasadeva disciples. Starting from Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, atheistic Kapila, and then Patanjali, and Ashtavakra, and then Vasudeva himself, and then I forget one more one. This is called also 6 darshan. Yeah, Gautama, Kanada, Patanjali, Kapila, yeah, Jaimini. Jaimini will see later on he becomes a bona fide also, because he heard also this in Bhagavatam. We'll see that Jaimini was there, yeah, in the association. I think he was in the association of Sukadeva Goswami itself. Later on he becomes Bhakti Yogi also. So Gautama is speaking the 6 darshan, 6 philosophies. Sukadeva Goswami, he knows even these 6 philosophies. So that way he could understand, he assimilated, he knows what exactly Srimad Bhagavatam is giving, the topmost literature. Because unless he knows what exactly other philosophies, other Vedas, other Puranas are giving, then how can you give the essence? How can you say this is the topmost? So that way, because Sota Goswami he has read himself and then he had explained, he assimilated himself and then he could explain, he has explained before. So that's why here is mentioned 6 philosophies. So let's go through it quickly. The 6 philosophies, starting with Gautama. Gautama is given the philosophy of Nyaya, logic, means argumentatives. What is that? Ardha Kukkiti Nyaya. Prabhupada gives in one of the lectures. Ardha Kukkiti means whether a hen is before or egg is before. In that way, when the branch fell down actually. So in a funny way. So in this way, so Nyaya and logic is used in argumentative way. We can never understand the absolute truth by argumentative logic or Nyaya. It is not. Even demigod cannot understand Krishna, then what about this using the arguments and logic? You can never understand Krishna. In this way, that philosophy is called based on the Nyaya and logic. It is called Vaisheshika also. No, not that. The Nyaya and logic is Gautama. That is one of the philosophies, Sabdarshan. And the second one is this impersonal philosophy. It is also called Vaisheshika. It is given by Kanada, Kanada Rishi. They are all disciples. He has distributed these philosophies to these different personalities who has taken care and propounded their own theories. Mayavada philosophy or impersonal. That means they think that they can become God. Mayavada theory means when they become initial, now I am conditioned, but I can become God. So when I take sannyas, they call Narayana when they take sannyas. And Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. This is another aspect of this. That means this material world is false, but that is not the reality. Because if it is false, then why are you seeing this? All these aspects. That means it really doesn't exist. No, it is temporary. In that way, so we have to understand. So that is the philosophy Kanada of Vaisheshika philosophy of impersonalism, Mayavada philosophy. That's what Kanada is giving. And then we see Patanjali, mystic yoga, in a imaginary form. He has given the imaginary form of worship and performing different kinds of yoga postures and process of yoga, mystic yoga he has given. That's what he has established, Patanjali. And then coming to atheistic Kapila, Sankhya yoga. We see that real Sankhya yoga has been given by the Supreme Lord himself, coming as a Kapila, speaking to Devahuti in Canto 3. All the actual Sankhya yoga means all these 26 elements, starting from this gross, earth, water, air, fire, ether, and then mind, intelligence, false ego, time factor, 3 modes of material nature, how these reactions are coming into picture when time factor comes into picture. All this total together 26 elements. How this creation has happened. So that is all explained as real Sankhya yoga means understanding through that, through the creation, all these various principles, that is called as Sankhya yoga. So that is the why. But in this case, atheistic Kapila has propounded not actually on the basis of the creation has happened based on the material elements. As the nowadays scientists are speaking about Big Bang theory, yes, they never could produce any living entity, any living species, not even ant, not even a small insect. From any, whether you combine chemicals or whatever material resource you can combine, but they could never produce. But that's what is propounded by here on Kapila, atheistic Kapila, Sankhya Yoga theory of material elements. So then we have Jaimini Rishi. It is mentioned Karma Mimamsa theory. Karma Mimamsa theory. That means as you just do good activities. Many of the people are of this impression also. Majority, I could say. Majority. I meet them very often, very regularly. So time to time. The Karma Mimamsa theory means you perform activities, ordinary activities, you do good, you feed people, you give free education, or you just be good. Be good. I am good. I am good. I don't want your book. I don't want to come to class. I don't want to do anything with any spiritual. Don't even bring God into picture. I am good. So I am doing good. I am positive. I am this and that. This is what Karma Mimamsa theory means. When I just perform good activities, then I will enjoy. I will reach the good destination. That's what Karma Mimamsa theory means. Or they are another further, they think that the God is not even in picture actually, Karma Mimamsa, that's what it means. But even further, some people take even further, that means when God desires, when God desires, then I will come to temple. When God desires, then I will come to classes. And when God desires, I will take up Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. I will read. So it is not time act. He himself is deciding that when God desires, yes, then whatever, whenever that happens, then we don't know. Because the free will is given to us, choice is given to us, the bank balance is there, then how you utilize it? That means if you have given $1,000 bank balance, somebody has given to you, then 1,000 already given, then you are saying when somebody else desires, then I will spend it? No. When $1,000 is being given to you, you are obviously try to spend it, use it for something or other. You don't keep it until somebody tells you to spend it. Same way, so the free will, the choice is there, how to spend it. That is up to your discretion, how to utilize it. But you shouldn't be depending on, you should think that let me wait for the decision. Let me wait until somebody tells me. So it's not like that. Especially the God is right there, the super soul is watching, is trying to guide. When you use your free will, you want his instruction, that's when he will guide. Until that point, then he cannot guide, because it is not by force, it is by love, it is by your choice. When you use your own free will, your bank balance, your pious credit from the past life or in this life, then he can give the credits. Like Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra's case, all pious credits are gone. Karma Unmukha Sukriti, Moksha Unmukha Sukriti, everything is gone. That's why even Krishna himself was there, they were trying to bind Krishna. So that is the reality. So that's why Vidura had immediately left. It is a good thing that Duryodhana has thrown me out, because it is unwanted association. I have lost all my pious credit. He didn't directly go and meet Krishna. Otherwise they are right there, Krishna was there, Pandavas were there. Rather, he went to all the pilgrimages, all the holy places, because he himself wanted to be purified of this unwanted association of Duryodhana and others in that family. Because he knows, because that is the greatest sinful activity by associating with them, those kind of people. That is why it meant Sajatiya Snigdasya. When you want to understand devotional and spiritual subject matter, especially Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Para, Bhagavad Sthane. That means you must understand from a person Bhagavata, who has understood, who has received. Same way it is mentioned, Sajatiya Snigdasya. That means in the association of the same like-minded people who are advanced, who want to approach, want to develop Krishna Prema, you hear Bhagavatam from them. Among that association you must hear. And Snigdasya, that means they must be submissive, they must be humble, they must be greedy for Krishna. In that association you must hear. It is not that anybody and everybody, you pick up anybody speaking Krishna, so then that is not going to transform ourselves. So that is the first and foremost important quality we must understand from Shastra. Prabhupada explains this one of the lecture, Sajatiya Snigdasya. Especially here we will see that in one of the verse, the same thing is used, Snigdasya, because they are very submissive, Sonaka and other rishis. Anyway, the 6 philosophies, 6 saddarshans, it mentioned. In this way, the real absolute truth has been, what you call, not concealed, hidden in this case. By these 6 philosophies, by Gautama, by Kanada, by Patanjali, by atheistic Kapila, by Jaimini, Karma Mimamsa theory, and then Astavakra, also the Brahman effulgence, some Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis, they want to merge into Brahman effulgence. So that in this way, the 6 philosophies are not giving the ultimate absolute truth. So Sota Goswami knows this. He has heard, he himself read, and he read all others also. So that's why he was expert in explaining. He was a perfect candidate. He was a qualified, bona fide spiritual master who can sit on the throne of Vyasapit. Prabhupada is very, very seriously giving, really going at a full speed on this. People cannot sit on Vyasapit and giving lectures unless they are of this quality. Prabhupada is going at a very really deep. Obviously, I don't have the qualification, so I am only speaking on the strength of my beloved spiritual master. There is no qualification whatsoever, whatever I am speaking. Otherwise, I was thinking to start these classes way back, even Bhagavad Gita classes, before initiation, but it never happened. I was thinking, it never happened. But on the order of Guru, after I received his mercy, after I discussed with him, then it happened just like very quickly, rapidly it happened. So already 5 years passed of Bhagavad Gita, we are almost ending Bhagavad Gita. I just started Srimad. This also I have received instruction from my spiritual master. You should start, you should use your time in preaching, giving Krishna to others. Then on his order, I have started. So whenever we do things on the order of a spiritual master or advanced devotees, then yes, that's all right. So otherwise, you must have this qualification, especially as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about who is qualified to sit on the Vyasasana, who should speak this transcendental subject matter. It's not easy actually. So much to learn and so much to practice to develop these qualities is not easy. Anyway, verse number 9, already 733. So this is what is being given here, especially. So how this qualification of disciple and the spiritual master. So the disciple's qualification is also another thing is hearing with rapt attention. That hearing also, if we hear really with rapt attention, and Prabhupada is explaining in one of the classes, regularly, it is not like week, Bhagavad Sapta or something. Bhagavatam must be, that's why you'll see in our temple also it is not consistently happening because there is no audience. In Saturday, Sunday also we do sometimes that also misses. But in some of the temples, old temple like LA and other places, it happens every day. Consistently it must happen. So even in a personal basis, you must do every day, 5 minutes, whatever. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever can happen, can be allocated. We can try to follow consistently every day. That's what Prabhupada is emphasizing. It must be consistently read, consistently heard. Srimad Bhagavatam. It is everyday thing. Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam, out of 64 items of devotion service, 5 items are the prominent and important. Those are reading, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotees, and then chanting the holy name or Sankirtan. 3 things. And the 4th is staying in a holy place. And then 5th one is worshipping the deity. These are out of 64 items, these are the topmost. 5 things, these are the prominent and the most important things. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam and the chanting and hearing takes prominent role. And then immediately, Lord, if you do it regularly, it can happen within just a matter of time. 1 year itself, we can really become advanced. How much we are really greedy. That's why it means, later on we'll see in Canto 2, in Srimad Bhagavatam, who is speaking. I think Brahma is speaking. I think Brahma is answering questions to Narada Muni, I think. Where it is mentioned, Srunotam Shraddhaya Nityam. Every day you hear this Srimad Bhagavatam with a faith, strong faith. Srunotam Shraddhaya Nityam. Grunanti Swachestitam. That means your consciousness is fully absorbed. It's not just having a theoretical faith, but your consciousness is fully absorbed in hearing. Grunanti Swachestitam. Then Kalena na ati dirghena Bhagavan visate hrudi. Kalerana ati dirgha, that means very quickly, very rapidly. Bhagavan visate hrudi. That means the Supreme Lord will be established, Supreme Lord will speak to you. As Paramatma is there, but he is not speaking to us at this time. It has been, layer, as a by this external energy, Maya, Mahamaya, is not now, Yogamaya is not coming into picture. Is not acting, is not speaking to us like Narada Muni could speak to the Supreme Lord, only fraction of minutes, one time only. But for us, it is not even happening that is not happening with us. Because we are not absorbed when we are hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are doing so many other things. Even when we are sitting in front also, in the class also, we are not with rapt attention. So that's why it's very, very important to take this, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time, consistently, even if we are not at the temple, if it is not possible, alright. It is for us sitting at home, taking the association of Vyasdev. That's why we chant this. Why we should chant Narayana, Namaskruti, Naram Cheva Narottam? Clearly given. Because whoever is giving the knowledge, you must seek their mercy. You must offer your obeisances to them. Who has given this? Vyasdev has given. So we are offering the prayers on Saraswati and Narayan Rishi. Lord Narayan, this is coming. Because Narayan also has given this 4-seated Chatusloki Bhagavatam to Brahma. So, in the various cases, Narayan Rishi also spoke. The various instances are there in this way. That's why we offer that Narayan Namaskrucha Naram Cheva Narottam Devin Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jem Udiyare. So that way we offer our obeisance before. Otherwise, how can we understand? Without their mercy of Vyasdev, there is no way to understand, because the mercy is flowing through Brahma to Narada Muni to Vyasdev to current spiritual master. So mercy cannot flow. We cannot understand this subject matter. So that's why it is very important to hear in that way. We offer our prayers and then we hear in that consciousness. We develop it. We consider it at least. We try to come to that point. It's not easy. It's a matter of practice. It's a matter of consciousness. So we try to consider these points. Anyway, verse number 9, and then we'll stop here very quickly. We're already late. So 9 is the first question. Tatra tatranja sayusman bhavatayad vinishchitam pumsam ekantata sreya tanna samsitam arhasi. This is the first question they are asking. Please therefore being blessed. Verse number 9. So we should know. So please therefore being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you ascertain to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. The first question is, what is the ultimate good for the people in general? This is the first question. So the ultimate good, generally we ask, especially most of us are in IT world. What in the IT? What is good look like? What is the business outcome? Especially I am in these meetings, people say in the town halls also they say this is only. What exactly, when you are performing, going through your work projects, what is the business outcome of doing this project? So what is good look like? Otherwise, how will you know? Without having this in mind, what are you going to achieve? So that's the same thing they are asking. What is the ultimate good? So ultimate benefit. That's why they are asking. They are not asking for temporary benefit. Same way the project, our CEO or vice president, whoever, our managers or directors, they are asking us, you are taking up this project. What is the ultimate result of that project? What is it going to give? How is it going to help the business? So before we perform any activity, that is how we should be. So same way, for spiritual progress, we should think about this. In our life, what is the ultimate? Okay, I am performing, I am somehow managing my life, managing my home, managing my family, managing my work. But where am I going at the end? What exactly is going to happen? So I am leading life, but already 30 years, 40 years, 50 years have passed. Then what I am going to do in next few years? So how is it going to be? Where exactly I am going? What is the destination? What is the ultimate goal? So that is the same question here asked by Saunaka and other rishis assembled in Naimisharanya. And then we'll see the next question. We'll stop here, but I'll just give a glimpse of these questions. Verse number 9, verse number 11. Then you have, verse number 15, I think. Verse number 17 and 18 again. And then 23, last verse. There are 6 questions asked by Saunaka and other rishis. So that is, what is the ultimate good for the people in general? Then what is the essence of all the scripture? That is verse number 11. And then next question is coming on, why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva? That is the third question. And the fourth question is, please explain, narrate the pastimes of the incarnations, various leelas, pastimes of the Supreme Lord, various incarnations, avatars of the Lord. And then the next question is the qualities of the Supreme Lord, especially Gunavataras of the Supreme Lord. And the last question is, okay, Krishna left the planet, where did the religion take shelter of? All the religious principles, dharma, where did it go? Because Krishna left, then what is going to happen? That is the sixth question, these 6 questions. So based on my realization, I have also understood in another sense that basically Saunaka and other rishis are asking Nama Gana Sadaruchi, also in that way. We see that they are asking what is the ultimate good, what is the essence of all the scripture, what is the essence? It is coming to ultimate matter, it comes the holy name, the chanting of the holy name, that is now. Then they are asking about Nama Gana Sadaruchi, what is it? Nama Rupa Guna Leela, this is sorry. Nama Guna Rupa Leela. They are asking about this, okay, name of the Supreme Lord, the holy name, and then they are asking about the form of the Supreme Lord. They are asking Nama Rupa Guna, qualities of the Supreme Lord. They are asking about the pastimes of the incarnations of the Leela avatars of the Lord. So this is the way to approach. We cannot, that's why Shastra is clearly, Prabhupada is emphasizing very much in the first chapters itself, first few verses itself in the purports. Don't jump onto 10th canto. Don't hear Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, whoever the speaker may be. Don't hear directly. First understand it. Understand from the sequence. Go in a sequence. Don't directly grab to the 10th canto. It is not going to help. It is not going to help. Rather, it is going to create problem. Rather, it is going to create a problem in our mindset. It is not going to help in our progress. So that's why it clearly is. That's why they are also asking the question in that way. Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela. When we are chanting also, that's what is going to happen. In the beginning stages, we are only hearing. We are not seeing the form. We are not seeing the qualities. We are not seeing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. We are not interacting with the Lord. When we go from this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, raga, spontaneous devotion, devotion service practice, then when we come to that asakti and bhava, devotion service in ecstasy, next stage, that time we will be able to see the form of the Lord, maybe a glimpse. It may not be consistent, it may not be everyday thing. Rupa, form also. Then also we will see the qualities of the Supreme Lord while we are chanting. And also we will see the pastimes of the Supreme Lord also. Sometimes we see that Srimad Bhagavatam example also. Sometimes they are meditating, they could see, they could speak to the Supreme Lord. In Chaitanya Gaur Leela, especially, we will see these pastimes, interesting pastimes of Mahaprabhu appearing. So, in the various personalities case, devotees, advanced devotees. So that way they are asking in this question. They are not directly jumping, they are not asking question to explain the pastimes. They are going first about the Nama, then Rupa, then Guna, and then Leela. This is the way to approach. So through chanting, the chanting can give the topmost benefit, the topmost mature fruit of Krishna Prema. But it is a matter of question, matter of sincerity, matter of dedication, matter of enthusiasm, matter of patience. How much, to the degree we have these, to degree we follow the advanced devotees and the spiritual master and the Shastra as much as possible, sincerely, then automatically then we can progress very rapidly and quickly without doing any external renunciation. Externally we don't need to renounce anything. So Prabhupada at what time he has given up his family life? At the age of 65, above 65. That time also he has clearly tried to convince as much as possible his family. He couldn't do, because they sold his Bhagavad Gita, they sold his things, and he couldn't do anything. Then there is no way, other way about it, not to, because obviously his sons and daughters were there, he has given under the care of them, and then at the time he has taken to sannyas. Same way Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Grihastha Ashram. So there is no renouncement externally. Obviously we have to continue our dharma of taking care of family, job, all these things you can continue. If our time, place, circumstance is good, yes, we can take vanaprastha, you can take sannyas, if that is the situation we are in. But if we are supposed to serve our parents, supposed to serve our family, we are in that situation, then we must serve. We shouldn't give up artificially, thinking that Shastra is telling, Varnashrama Shastra is telling us 50 years I should go to Vanam Rajet, let me give up everything and go to forest. No, that's why it must be guided by the advanced devotees, guided by the spiritual master. Even the Shastra may be telling, But because Prabhupada has given instructions to different devotees, different disciples at different times, based on their position, based on their circumstance, based on their consciousness, Prabhupada has given. Because the same rule cannot be applied to everybody. Principle is same, but the details can be different. So that's what we cannot take the principle and take it into our account and act accordingly. The details will be different because each and every devotee, the quality, somebody may like to chant, somebody may like to hear, somebody may like to read, somebody may like to do different parts of devotion service. Then that spiritual master or advanced devotees will know, and then accordingly they will guide what he should do, what he shouldn't do, and how to transform, how to perform devotion service. In that way we must seek guidance. Otherwise the principles and we understand differently and then we try to immediately jump on to conclusions, which is not going to help in devotion service. So that is in that way we stop here. Any questions? Quick questions, already 7:47. We'll stop in 2 minutes. Unless if you have any quick questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna. No question. Okay, thank you very much. We have yes, any questions? My question is basically one is I'm teaching and two is like taking up any Shastra studies or trying to teach Shastra to the children. Understood. Yeah. One is teaching, the other one is understood. Your question is understood. So basically it's general principle from the Shastra, directly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, directly from Srila Prabhupada and our previous acharyas. Whatever knowledge we have, we don't need to wait to become Paramahamsas. We can give knowledge, we can share knowledge to others. We can preach. There is no problem. But if we can, if there is a way, everything we cannot, because the spiritual master may be busy for small things also, we cannot ask. Yes, to start in a smaller way or big way, but wherever is possible, if we can seek guidance from a spiritual master, seek the blessings, and seek his guidance, because there may be a different way to do it, how you conduct, what is the procedure, what is the way. So, because initially I was thinking I will just do just limited audience, my Bhakti Vriksha members or something. Then my spiritual master has told, no, you should try to, give it, broadcast it much more in public. You put it on YouTube or you put it on Facebook or whatever, possible, whatever means, you must, because the preaching is not just for limited, it must go, wherever possible you must expand it. That is the principle. So that's why I have posted. Otherwise, just generally I am not so much keen on YouTube and Facebook on these things. That way, so detail, principle is same, but the detail, how you do it, and then seek blessings, especially this important activity. Because otherwise, on our strength, we can only do limited. We cannot really, because we cannot understand this. Neither we understand the subject matter properly, and then neither will, when we try to explain it, it may not come out. So that's why it is better to seek, especially if it is a little bit bigger things, seek guidance. You can write, especially most of our spiritual masters are available, or especially his servants or direct associates, they are available. You directly reach out to them, either email or call them or send a message. I am sure you get blessings or get a reply on how you do it. So that details we know, because it's not principle, yes, you can do without getting direct instructions from a spiritual master. Anybody can preach, there is no question about it, but the details and on the strength of the spiritual master, it will help, it will be much more effective in that way, so especially for a bigger setting. I hope that answers.
Thank you. I think for me, those things say the same thing. So is that the same opinion for you for even studying Shastra?
No, for studying Shastra, anybody can do. That is not a problem. For teaching our kids or teaching our kids, our family members, it's fine. No, we don't need to approach anybody. For reading Shastra also, fine. But reading Shastra, we have to be one thing we have to be careful is Prabhupada explains, and in the 64 items Rupa Goswami is explaining, don't read too many books. That means first as devotees, it doesn't matter how much advanced he is. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion, these three things must be studied first. If we haven't completed, if we haven't understood, then we try to jump on to either Ujjwal Neelamani or Laghu Bhagavatamrita or Tattva Sandarbha or any other things. Rather, it is not recommended because that is more higher subject matter and will not be. Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes, you can touch upon because some of the pastimes are very interesting to read and easily understandable, not a problem. But any other subject, any other books, too many books you start jump on to, then it is not going to help in our devotion service. That Shastra is clearly telling. So in those cases, if you have interest in reading some specific books, then we can ask those specific questions to spiritual master. If he says yes, then you can read those specific things. But otherwise, general recommendation from our Prabhupada or Acharya is to read these first specific important books so that we understand, we are thorough in subject matter. Then we can study the advanced books. Otherwise, we jump into wrong conclusions.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for clarification.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Somebody else? Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
And my question is more around, improving the quality of chanting.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to improve the quality, and I'm just wondering how do I control my mind? So can you give some tips on that? Because keep your mind controlled for 2 hours is not an easy.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering.
Understood? Yeah, understood. So the general principle means at least based on my realization, I could say for whatever 10-15 years I am doing. I think my mind also used to go in the beginning days. So how to control more and more, I am seeing how my mind is behaving and senses are behaving. So the more you can control the mind is when we are the time, especially when we are at work, generally mind will not go. We are focused on the work. But the rest of the time, if you are eating, then it's fine. Sleeping, that's fine. But the rest of the time, if we can focus the mind on whatever subject matter, Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever, some verses, or you listen to a lecture, whatever you can do, something of a transcendental nature, you hear the topic rather than using the time, because otherwise mind's business is to go to somewhere else. And the same thing, because rest of the time, after 24 hours, 8 hours or 10 hour job, you have 4 hours sleeping or eating, and then, so if you remove that, and then 8 hours sleeping, work is, so total 20 hours, 4 hours, you have 4-5 hours. These 4, even including they were taking bath and brushing the teeth and evacuation, you consider these 6 to 7 hours. These 6 to 7 hours, if you can try to somehow absorb, either you put a class or whatever, at least whenever the mind is running, then you have to try to use that mind in something of a transcendental activity. So that way then mind will be controlled. While chanting also mind will be controlled. Otherwise, because rest of the time mind is going, we are not capturing the mind in a higher subject matter. It is not getting a taste on the higher subject matter. Obviously, while chanting also that will do it. Same thing it will do. So that's what I have observed it, and much more. And especially the timing. The more important aspect is the timing. If you do only before 6 o'clock, before 6:30, and then your eating and sleeping habits. If you eat too late, a heavy meal you take in the dinner, and then in the morning you wake up and already have some of the existing things. You have some work related, or you have some family related emergency thing, or some parents related. You have something, thoughts lingering in your mind. Then you try to address it day before, because otherwise minute you wake up in the morning, then these thoughts will come to the picture in the front line. Oh, I have to address this problem, I have to address this problem. That those thoughts keep coming. But as much as possible, if you can address those whatever immediate needs are day before, then that will help the mind to be stable even in the morning time. Generally in the morning time, before 6 o'clock, before 7 o'clock is much more peaceful, much more better. And before chanting, you start doing a prayer, especially either Siksashtakam, or you do Samsara Dava prayers, or whatever prayers that to prescribe to the acharyas. Don't use the prayers whatever we are doing in the past in our life. Rather, we use our Acharya's prayers. Either Samsargava prayers we sing in a Mangalarti, or use Sikshastakam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayers, or something like that aspects. Rupa Goswami's prayers. So many acharyas given. Whatever we have inclination, like Aradhyo, Brajesh, Tanay, Radham, and Krishna's prayers, Radharani prayers, whatever. In that way, so you take maybe 2-3 prayers or 4-5 prayers, 10 minutes or 5 minutes before you start. And obviously you should pray submissively to Lord Narasimhadev to remove the obstacles, or Nityananda Prabhu to give the strength to develop some attachment to the holy name. So in that way, when you start your setting, with that setting you start the chanting, then it will improve. So the 3 things basically. You address immediate need day before. You try to control your eating and sleeping habits as much as possible. And then the third thing is try to control the mind, use the mind in either hearing, even while brushing the teeth, while taking bath, as much as either you chant the verses, whatever prayers you know, even if it is not based on the Shastra, but you have somehow you heard from your mother or brother or whatever you have heard in your life, those prayers also, that's fine, as long as even if it is some demigods also fine, but something so that mind is not into some other unwanted activities. That's what mind will do. There is no doubt about it. It is not just you. Anybody in this devotion service, for everybody this happens. And don't think that it is only happening with you. Mind's business is to go. Mind's business is to go here and there, all places. And it is going to bring up from past life and bring up this life. From this life, whatever activities we have performed, especially unwanted activities. As per Shastra, whichever is not recommended, that's what is going to come up. Because that is what has been imprinted in our consciousness. And that's what is going to come up. So that's why the best way to counteract is to hear. And this is what I am applying almost, at least in the beginning also I applied, but now I am seriously applying almost a year or so. Regularly, while taking bath, while brushing the teeth, every activity I am chanting one of the chapter of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. In one of the lecture, one of the initiation lecture, Prabhupada is doing just 1 point, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, all the way 3 chapters. Initiation, they just chanted these 3 chapter verses. That's all they did. And then they had initiation. No lecture, nothing. Just chanting the Bhagavatam verses from first canto, first chapter to 3rd chapter. 70-80 verses. They just chanted, and then they chanted the Isa Purnamidam Purnamada, and then they just did the initiation. So we can see. So because this will help. These whatever verses, whatever prayers we could memorize, whatever we know of, those are the memories. Keep repeating. That's fine. Same. Even if you know only 3 verses, you keep repeat that. Instead, rather mind going in some other direction, that is what is going to bring the same mind will come during chanting also. Mind is going to be absorbed into unwanted things. So that's how it is going to be, it can be counteracted. At least from my practical experience, that's what I could see working. But other devotees may have different other suggestions. But yeah. Any other questions? Okay, we'll stop here. I think His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj is going to give class now, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock or so. I'll post that message. Try to join if it is possible, depending on your circumstance. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavan ki jai.